What's up guys, so this is part 2 of a defending tutorial. We're going to look at some practical examples. So if you haven't watched the philosophy of defending and the tactics that are available in PES 2020, you're going to be a bit lost what I'm talking about here. So be sure to check that out, the part 1. I will put the link in the description, so check that one out. So in this example here, I scored early, luckily, so that Arsenal will be playing more offensively to get back into the game, so it will be easier for me to show you guys how to defend. Let's get right to it. Alright, so the tactics that I use is similar to the one that I show you guys in part 1. Let's see how it will play out. You can see there I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players inside that box because of swarm the box. All my defenders and my midfielders in there, except for my wingers and my strikers. So it happened as we set up in the tactics, and see how the defensive line is playing near the edge of the penalty box there. Here, if you take a look at my controller, I'm holding R2 to jockey my player, my defender, and wait for the opponent to come, and when he is close, then only I use X to chase and try to challenge for that ball, like that. Force him to go back. So what you want to do is just sit back and maintain your shape of your formation and wait for the opponent to do something and you just react to it. Here in this example, he passed it to Aubameyang here at the edge of the penalty box, and he took a shot from far, so he couldn't get the power on it, so it's just an easy save for Alisson. So that's what you want to do. You don't want them to shoot from inside the box, but instead from outside the box. So here we lost the ball at this half line, so they can start another counter attack. So here you see if Fabinho is not there, the defensive midfielder, the gap between the two center backs is a bit wide, and Lacazette, there the striker, will be able to get through. That is the important for a defensive midfielder in a 2 center back setup. If you have 3 center backs, then it should be okay. Here, instead of pressing X to chase for that ball, I use my left stick and super cancel R1 and R2 to run into space and trying to block his run. But he passed the ball, so I switched to the right back, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and use R2 to jockey and position myself, trying to block any cross into the penalty box. Here you can see managed to cross it in, but it's okay because you have like 6 players inside that box compared to them where they only got 3 players there, so you cannot do anything. Here you can see me controlling Wijnaldum using R2, and then Henderson also using R2 to jockey and position myself around, keeping the shape of my formation, waiting for him to come, and when he get close enough, then use X to chase for that ball and try to tackle him to win the ball back. But that was a foul. Here you can see the Liverpool defenders outnumbered the Arsenal attackers, and here I did a bad job to tackle for that ball, so he managed to get a shot. But still there's 3 defenders there trying to block that shot, so an easy save for the keeper. So that's the good thing of using swarm the box tactics. Here is another example. Our defensive line is not that deep, so they can only pass to the striker at the edge of the penalty box. And look at the defender there, 3 players surrounding 1 striker. So that is what you want from this tactic. See the numbers of Liverpool defender in that penalty box. There is no way for the striker to shoot or dribble through past this. Here is another example of the gap between the 2 center backs. There, Joe Gomez and Van Dijk there. So much space, so if you don't have a defensive midfielder, the striker can get through them so easily. So here you can see again, pass to Lacazette through the middle. Van Dijk is marking Pepe at the top, and Gomez marking Aubameyang down here. If there is no defensive midfielder, then one of your center backs will try to close him down. This will leave the winger open for a pass by the striker. So that's the importance of having 3 center backs or 2 center backs with 1 defensive midfielder. So that's the end of the first half. We faced 7 shots, 5 on target, but still no goal so far. Quite good for this first half defensively. So let's start the second half. Here you can see me using R2 to jockey and position my player into the shape, the formation that I want. The mentality is to block any shot from outside the box using your midfielder. Here you see Mane running back to get to that ball to stop the attack. Another example, using your center midfielder, using R2, jockey and positioning him into shape, into your formation. Try to block any open space to block the shot path. See, they can only shoot from far, cannot get inside the box because there are too many players. So not testing the keeper at all. So here you can see the compactness of this formation, the one that we set in the game plan. You can see the wing there, there's no Arsenal player, so there's really no need for you to set the compactness to the minimum to make your player more spread out. In this example, you can see a true pass to the winger, but your center backs is actually positioned closer to the winger, so this will be an easy save by them. I'll show you a different example. Here is a true pass to a striker, the middle striker, like I said there. You can see Gomez is way up there marking Aubameyang, and here Van Dijk want to close down on Pepe, the other winger, the right winger. So if you have no center back or defensive midfielder, Lacazette will surely get through into the goal from that through pass. Here is the final attack of this match. You can see the movement of Arsenal player getting the ball out wide, then trying to find someone inside the box, but couldn't do anything inside the box because there's too many defenders. Was forced to pass it out back, couldn't do anything much with it, so take a shot himself from outside the box. So an easy save by the keeper. So that's the end of the match. Reaching the end of our tutorial, let's take a look at the stats. We have 12 shots, 9 on target, 10 saves, no goals. So I hope you can learn something from this video. I'll try to summarize it a bit. The mentality that you want to have is to park the bus, to get as many players, defenders inside the penalty box. Try to play as close to the edge of the penalty box as possible, because you don't want the strikers from the opposing teams to get into the box and use that space and get closer for a shot. Let them shoot from outside the box. Use your player to block the shots. It would be best to let them play outright and get the cross in so that you can use the numbers that you have inside the penalty box to clear the ball out. Try to get the shape of your formation intact and wait for them to come to you and deal with them accordingly. Make sure to have a defensive midfielder if you're using two center backs in your setup. And the last one, remember to position yourself in a good space first before you press X to challenge for the ball. So that's it for this video. I hope you can try these tips out. Let me know in the comment if these tips are helpful to you, and with that, I'll see you guys in the next one.